I'm locked in. It's about time. I set the standard straight. The hardest working YouTuber on planet Earth is about to provide you with the most compelling information you have ever seen about altcoins and this altcoin cycle. Yes, I am saying it right now. This is the most in-depth video I have ever created about altcoins. I'm going to be talking about the altcoin season, as well as 5 cryptocurrencies with unimaginable potential. I'm talking about one in a lifetime chance. You have never seen an opportunity like this. Your grandparents have, your great grandparents, nobody in your bloodline has seen something as crazy as this. Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another cryptocurrency video, and you can see it on my face. I'm extremely serious. I have dove deep. I haven't been sleeping. I have been putting together basically the biggest argument for altcoins I have ever conceived in my life. This video is going to be one of those videos that you share with people, that you sit down, you take notes, and you actually pay attention to. I am not understating this. I am not overhyping this. The information provided in this video will not be anywhere else on the internet. I am the one and only person that's putting together this type of argument for altcoins. Then I'm going to go into 5 altcoins, safe altcoins with massive upside potential. I'm talking about things where you could put large amounts of money and rest assured that your capital won't go to zero, as well as still get 10 to 50x potential even at the end of this cycle in very short periods of time. I want to be very clear with you guys. The biggest transfer of wealth in human history is happening before your eyes. The internet boom is nothing compared to what's about to happen right now. Altcoins are about to take dominance away from Bitcoin, and I got rid of a lot of Bitcoin for these 5 altcoins right here. In this video, I want to restate it one more time. I'm going to be going over in complete depth, all little detail, every detail, nothing is left out. And if you appreciate this content, share it with as many people as possible. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, my name is Alex. I provide cryptocurrency help and information. This is not financial advice, and I back up everything I say with evidence. I am the most transparent, hardworking YouTuber on the internet, and I say that because I do not accept sponsorships from nobody. Everything I talk about is my thoughts and my thoughts only. Let's jump into the video. So as you can see here, we're going to do some trickle-down economics. Let's look at this current state of what's going on in the world. If you're not looking at what's going on in the world, how can you possibly, pick an altcoin? It does not make sense. You need to be looking at the macro cycle. So this is a daily update from Shadow Government Statistics. The reason why I use them is because they're more transparent, and there's not really too much filtering going on. They just show you the actual factual evidence. So as you can see here, February, inflation spiked on top of a plunging economic activity. Okay, so inflation spiking, they're printing more money, as well as plunging economic activity. I've told you guys 1,000 times, and people are not they're not realizing that this could take a long time. The pandemic hit, and they might not have changed their situation, but there's going to be some type of recession / depression that will happen in long periods of time. People usually think in 24-hour time frames. They're not thinking in month to month, and let alone year to year, right? So, and it's not, due to bad weather in Texas, as you can see there. March 2021, unemployment and payroll employment showed some improvement against the early pandemic impact 1 year ago, but still gave no indication of imminent economic recovery. Okay, that's crazy. February 2021, nominal construction spending declined in the month, on top of a respective upside and downside revisions to the public construction, private and public construction. Final estimate for fourth quarter 2020 GDP revised higher by 0.2%. So basically, GDP rose slightly. It didn't recover on a strong upswing. Again, I'm not an economist. I'm just reading information that they're giving me. February, real new orders for durable goods declined 3.2%. Cash freight index declined 3.2%. New home sales plunged 18.2% in 1 month, while existing home sales dropped 6.6%. Building permits and housing stats both saw statistically meaningful monthly crashes in excess of 10%. Industrial production plunge was blamed from severe weather and still declined unexpectedly net of those effects. PPI goods inflation of the last 3 months surged to an all-time high. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to get across here is that the macro is very, very fundamentally bearish. Okay, the things happening in the world right now, we haven't seen this for a very long time. This is supposed to be a good thing for cryptocurrencies because it serves as a hedge against monetary inflation, meaning when people jump into Bitcoin, it's probably because they want to exit the current system, right? If that makes sense. So if we look at some other, statistics on Bitcoin specifically. Now, Bitcoin's surging, right? It's about 60K. So it's already done well, better than most assets on planet Earth. I think it's one of the best producing assets on planet Earth, right? It went from like, it's ridiculous. It went from like $4,800. That's $60,000, guys. It's like more than a 10x, right? Basically what they did here, I just want to show you very briefly. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. After the third halving, so essentially they kind of lined up other halvings, and you can see that we're kind of at the midway point, which is going to play into the altcoins. I'll explain exactly what I'm saying. We have to be looking at Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the biggest cryptocurrency and has served as a medium of exchange for cryptocurrency since it started, right? It's the first crypto. So you can see we're about the halfway point if you take in consideration other halvings in history. Now, obviously, it's predicting April 18th that Bitcoin's going to hit 100K. That's probably unlikely considering the law of diminishing returns. As Bitcoin gets really big, it slows down by percentages increase. It's harder to move Bitcoin when there's more money in Bitcoin. As simple as that, right? But we can definitely see that we're not done with the cycle. Bitcoin's going to hit 100K and probably go north of that slightly, right? I don't know if about 300, 400K, some of these crazy price predictions, but I could definitely say with confidence that Bitcoin's going to hit 100K, which plays into the altcoin cycle. We're going to need to see Bitcoin rise slightly for altcoins to do well. Now, if we go over a couple things more in the macro, you could see that the US dollar currency index, I want you to remember kind of a little time frame here. Look at March 2020, April, May. March, April, May, kind of around the time we are like literally right now. We just started April. It's April 5th as of today's date. Since then, we have dropped, and this is the US currency dollar index. This is the purchasing power of the United States dollar. Now, the reason I'm explaining that is because typically when people get scared and they lose purchasing power of the United States dollar, they jump to commodities, okay? And the biggest commodities right now are silver and gold. So as you can see here, an index of commodities. We're gonna jump into silver and gold as well, but this is an index, meaning all of the commodities put together, the top commodities. You could see, again, around this time period, April, we just looked at these dates, March, April, May of 2020, we see a surge in commodities. People are buying commodities. This proves my point. It shows exactly, if I just pop right back over here, look at the time, look, March, April, May of 2020. And then we jump over here, March, April, May of 2020, jumping all the way to the top. That proves my point. Now, we're kind of exiting the specific commodities in this index and we're jumping into other things. Let me explain what I'm saying. So as you can see here, this is a silver, right? This is silver. Look at this same thing. It kind of lines up, right? So if we look right here, March, April, May, jumps up. Now, we've been trading sideways and actually lost. We've been losing since this point here, August, and it's gonna make sense. It's all gonna line up. Let me just get this ruler, right? We've been losing since August of 2020. So why is that, right? So if you pull up gold, as you can see, we're seeing the same thing. Look, since August, it's been going straight down, even more aggressive than silver. What does this mean? If I pull the total market capitalization of all cryptocurrency, you could see, again, the dates line up. Pay attention. Right here, March, April, May of 2020. But notice, in October or August, but notice in August, right? November, right here, September, August, we had a little bit of sideways action, but then exploded, right? So in August of 2020, let's kind of pull it back over here. August, we've seen nothing but downwards on gold, silver, and the commodity index. This is on the daily, gold and silver, but on the commodity index, we kind of see the same thing as the total market capitalization of crypto. So let me pull this up one more time. So you see the total market capitalization of crypto. We had the sideways action here in August, and then it rose. So if we look at the gold, it dropped. Silver, it dropped. I already showed you guys that. And then again, if we look at right here, the commodity index, we had sideways action. It kind of followed crypto, if that makes sense, right? It's because it's made up of so many different commodities. The index was going to do good when the United States dollar falls in purchasing power. The point I'm trying to make here is that Bitcoin and altcoins are going to steal the market cap of gold and silver, most likely. Now, a lot of people talk about this. A lot of people make price predictions off of the $10 trillion valuation of cryptocurrency in comparison to gold. I think it's true. The properties of Bitcoin, they kind of match up in gold. They're superior to gold, right? And people jump into gold for the same reason they jump into cryptocurrency. Even a lot of people in gold end up being crypto enthusiasts, right? In the future, once they realize the properties are different. I can definitely say that a lot more people in commodities in general, people are trying to get into risk assets, and cryptocurrency is that risk asset that people have been jumping into consistently. And this is why it's been the best producing asset. Now, if we look at this chart right here, as you can see, the money flow in crypto, people usually jump into Bitcoin first, and then they jump into large caps, then they jump into mid caps, then they jump into low caps. And this is when it jumps from Bitcoin to these, you'll start seeing these altcoins pop off by crazy percentages, like insane percentages, right? So Bitcoin has done its thing for the past whatever. So look right here, August, it's been going up exponentially. I think it might be the time, and let me explain to you that Bitcoin's either going to move sideways or down, and altcoins are going to take right here, large caps and then mid caps. And we could even see evidence that large and mid caps are already being eaten up, right? It's already happening. So if I open this right here, again, I've showed this chart a couple times. This is top 100 altcoins in comparison to Bitcoin dominance. So basically, when this chart goes down, we're seeing Bitcoin do well against altcoins. And when this chart goes up, we're seeing altcoins do well against Bitcoin. So this is right here clearly showing that we had a breakout in a trend line. And I've been screaming this on all my videos for a very long time. We had a breakout on the trend line since it's been building up for almost 1,200 days. 1,200 days, this trend line has been basically confirmed, and we broke through. So we might be at the start of this right here, of what I'm trying to explain. We might be at the start of the money leaking from fiat into Bitcoin, Bitcoin seeing 60K, whatever the case is, and then starting to come down. I could even confirm this, right? When we look at the BLX right here, and we open something, I like to open up this chart here. It's called logarithmic regression. Let's put it on the weekly so we can see a better time frame. The lines, the white lines there are the halving events. If you don't know what the halving events is, this video is going to be way too long. If we look at log regression, you could see right here that we're kind of reaching the top of, and this is Bitcoin. BLX is Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin. So it's not that Bitcoin's going to dump. We might break through this. What I'm saying is that we're pretty much I really do think getting to the point where we can go to large mid caps and maybe even some low caps. And we've already been seeing a lot of this. I've been investing in them for a long time with my cycle trading strategy. We've been calling a lot of them. We called DeFi, we called NFTs, and now I'm calling for a serious super cycle, altcoin cycle. Okay. This is building up. You have to know this before I jump into the coins, because if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you're pretty much going to be lost. People just want to get the coins directly and they don't want to do any investigation. I'm trying to set you up for success. I'm trying to teach you guys how to fish. Also confirmed by Ethereum breaking its all-time high, right? I called this 1,000 times. I literally been talking about this for a very long time. We broke through right here. We broke through the all-time high. Now we might be making our way back down. It depends on when you watch this video. But as you can see, we clearly broke through. Ethereum broke through its all-time high. Now, if we look back into history, when Ethereum broke through its all-time high last time, it made room for an altcoin massive super cycle last leg of, the bull run altcoin cycle season. Okay. I know I just threw a lot of words at you, but it's the truth. I made a lot of money off of that. And if we look at the total market cap excluding BTC, you can see we broke the all-time high as well. Right here, you're looking at all the cryptocurrencies except for Bitcoin. So all the money fluctuating into the market, all the money coming into the market except for Bitcoin, and that's breaking its all-time high. So I'm giving you multiple areas of confirmation. We went from, let's think about it one more time. We went from the top, right? The world economy and how things are happening, right? I didn't go too much into that, but I can confirm that for hours. I can make a whole video on macroeconomics and the world situation right now. We brought it back down to the influxes of money into commodities, and then we brought that down to influxes of money coming into cryptocurrencies. Pay attention. I'm teaching you something here. Pay attention. Take your notes out. Share this with somebody. Now we're bringing it back down into altcoins specifically, okay? So understand, we are in an altcoin season. This right here is altcoin. They call it the altcoin season index. Basically what they're saying is when the top 50 cryptocurrencies are doing better than Bitcoin for the past 90 days, it confirms altcoin season. This is right here, as you can see in 2020, kind of a little situation where we almost had an altcoin season. This was back in August, right? This is the same. It's all lining up. For example, if we bring it back to the chart over here, this is the total market capitalization of all crypto. This is all the money inflowing. Look, March, April, we broke out. August right here is when we had the next leg up, and then we saw some other commodities fall. Now we have the altcoin season index flashing again right here. This is not Bitcoin time. I sold my Bitcoin for these altcoins for a specific reason. Now let's look at how altcoin season looked in the past. So as you can see here, percentage of total market capitalization, we saw a steep decline in Bitcoin dominance right here. And then we saw a whole bunch of altcoins taking off. Look, dates are aligning again. You can see it here, March, April, May, March, April, May. of 2017. Pay attention. I'm trying to put you guys on game. This is the type of gains. I went to the historical. I just literally went to historical snapshots. Look at the gains. 357% in 7 days. 307. Look at this. 244%, 122%. I'm trying to tell you guys, this is a one in a lifetime opportunity. This is something that like there's multiple families of generations that never experienced this. One, you are in one of the biggest technological advances in human history with the internet. First off, now we're upgrading the internet to internet 3.0 with a different decentralization model, and the psychology is changing for human history. I'm really trying to explain this to you guys because I know a lot of people are gonna miss this going over their heads. Look at these crazy gains. This is life-changing wealth. This is how you change the generations of your family moving forward. You don't get wealth in, I mean, you could get wealth in real estate. It might take you like 50 years, don't get me wrong. And I plan on investing in real estate, but if you want to make as much money as you possibly can very, very fast, these are the type of situations you want to align yourself with. If you put yourself in these situations, like example, like the altcoin season, you can make, and I've done it. People are always like, oh, Alex, this BS is hype. No, I have 127x my money in cryptocurrency. In 2017, 127x. That's life-changing results. That's like turning 10K into like $1 million, close to $1 million. And that right there will change you so that you can actually build a business and, you know, for the long run, help your family, right? Help the people around you. I want you to stop thinking about yourself. Think about the people in bad situations around you, right? How could this help them? I need you to share this video. I need you to tell people about cryptocurrency because this is a one in a lifetime opportunity. Look at this, 639% in the last 7 days. Let's just click here. We're talking about almost a 10x in 7 days. In 7 days, guys, 7 days. Look at these crazy returns. You're not going to experience this anywhere else. I'm trying to hype you up. I'm trying to make you understand what's really going on in the background, right? Because this is like we're not going to have this again. Once this is over, we're going to have to wait another 5-6 years for this to even if we get another shot, right? There could be, you know, a flippening and we never get this cycle ever again. This is one in a lifetime thing, okay? So bringing it back. You know, Bitcoin gets the first flow of money. Institutions, big people, they know about Bitcoin. It's a household name. Bitcoin has the most ATMs out of any other cryptocurrency. People jump into Bitcoin first. It is what it is. It's the median of exchange. Every single altcoin has a pair against Bitcoin, but not every single altcoin has a pair against Ethereum. Does that make sense, right? So the big median of exchange is cryptocurrency is Bitcoin, but we all know that Bitcoin is just way too slow. Here's an example. Number one, Ethereum is way too slow. Just to give you guys a perspective, Ethereum is extremely slow. It really is. Now look how Bitcoin is in comparison. It's even more slow, right? Bitcoin serving its purpose as gold. But if you really think about how the world functions, gold is not the biggest by market cap. Like right now, like if you look at gold in comparison to the internet is much bigger, has much more money. So there could be a situation where altcoins in the future pass Bitcoin. Bitcoin serves as its digital gold, just like we have regular gold in the real world. But Ethereum and other blockchains might surpass Bitcoin because the internet's bigger than gold. Does that make sense? Right? They're creating the decentralized internet, and that's way bigger than gold right now. In the real world, the internet's way bigger than gold, right? So that could be the same thing, right? With, you know, Ethereum and some of these altcoins. That could definitely be the same thing. Now, I told you guys last little altcoin season, if we look at the altcoin season index right here, this was catalyzed by mostly DeFi, decentralized finance. My goal is not to go into decentralized finance. That's for another video. I just want to be very clear with you guys that DeFi was the big catalyst. Now, if we look at, for example, back in the day, you know, what was the catalyst in 2017 for this altcoin season? Look at the date. We were talking about August 2017, that next leg up, that next spike, while commodities dropped, right? And Bitcoin dropped. We saw altcoin season rising. And look at CNBC. Let's see what they're talking about.
You've probably heard of Bitcoin, but what about Ether? There's an arms race going on right now in the world of cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin and Ether are leading the pack. Ether's a 3-year-old digital currency, Bitcoin's closest competitor, and it's largely been flying under the radar despite growing at breakneck speed. Investors have been super bullish on Bitcoin because it's nearly tripled in value so far this year, but Ether, it's up roughly 4,000% year to date. These rivals have a lot in common. They're both open source digital currencies used to make somewhat anonymous transactions.
All right, I'm not trying to bore you guys. You understand this. What I'm trying to show you is that they're clearly pumping out news for altcoins right now. Also, JP Morgan, once JP Morgan joined the Ethereum Alliance, altcoin season started in 2017 and started doing really well. Right here, this is just another case for what's happening this month in April. April is historically hype driven. Historically hype driven for altcoins. So this is playing into everything. We see institutional adoption, right? And the reason I say institutional adoption, because if you search altcoins, look, nobody's jumping in. So as you can see here, retail's not jumping in. We don't even have as much hype as it was last cycle, like not even close, right? And Ethereum's above its all-time high. Institutions are jumping in the same way they did in 2017. It just happened to be that when they dropped the Ethereum Alliance, when JP Morgan joined the Ethereum Alliance, Ethereum went from like $40 to like $200, like off the bat, right? So you can clearly see institutional adoption. Now there might be a big piece of news or somebody or some whatever. Tesla was a big news, but he said that in Bitcoin. Once the news starts coming out for other places like Litecoin, Ethereum, the other altcoins, we could see a massive spike, right? And this is more proof. Look, as you can see here, and you can even watch the video if you want. Look, May 2017. Do you guys recognize these dates in your head? Pay attention. What is Ether? They're talking about Ethereum. A group called the Ethereum Alliance was recently founded to connect large companies to technology vendors in order to work on projects using the blockchain. Companies involved include JP Morgan, Microsoft, and Intel. As soon as they joined the Ethereum Alliance, it took off. We started mooning. So let me show you just some more news, guys. Like, look at these news. Look at the dates. I'm looking at history. Look, December 2017. Look at history. This was like after the altcoin season. Let's watch this a little bit.
Required parts of the deal, then this contract is executed. And that's really what Ethereum is about. The token that is produced is known as Ether, and that's currently what's being traded right now.
Look, they're educating their audience about Ethereum, right? It's ridiculous, like how much they're pushing. They've been pushing it, or at least in 2007, they were pushing it, right?
That's currently also what's getting a lot of hype because of the potential of the underlying technology. It's got some fairly big backers, the likes of JP Morgan, Santander, and Microsoft are trying to experiment with Ethereum and how they can use it. And that's why you're seeing a lot of interest in this particular cryptocurrency and the technology behind it. It's very enterprise focused. And that's very similar to if we move on to Ripple too. The blockchain here.
Look, they're pushing other cryptocurrencies. Ripple just got sued by the SEC. This is 2017. That's how blind they are. Look, they're pushing other cryptos.
In Ripple's case,
other altcoins.
Facilitates cross-border FX payments. So of course, right now, these take a number of days. They're very expensive, but Ripple says it can transfer cross-border payments in different countries and currencies in a matter of seconds.
Okay, we're not going to jump into it. What I'm trying to show you is that they started pushing all these altcoins pretty hard back in 2017. This is after the run. And then we saw altcoins surge, and that was kind of like the end of the bull run. So this is kind of like a little chart here that shows the adoption of technologies, innovation adoption cycle. I genuinely think we're in early adopters, 13.5%. I'll make the case for that. So we still have a large leg up. We have an early majority leg up, and that's going to probably happen within the next couple of weeks, right? So basically, here's another chart. It's called the hype cycle. And then again, let me just kind of give you some, look, early adopters investigate, mass media hype buys in. We're literally like right here, right? And I'll show you the mass media. It's coming in the form of NFTs this time. Last time it was DeFi in August, like I showed you guys. And now it's going to potentially be NFTs and big institutions adopting altcoins. Okay, two things. NFTs and big institutions adopting altcoins. Now, we've seen that already with PayPal. As you can see here, PayPal is now adopting cryptocurrency. We already see this with PayPal. Institutions are getting in. Look, Ethereum, look, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. They are adopting cryptocurrencies. Now, we're going to see something else come out. I don't know what it's going to be. I know for a fact somebody big is going to jump into the space. Again, two catalysts for this cycle is going to be NFTs, right? And it's beautiful the way it's kind of lining up because we have the institutions that are going to get these payment settlements in altcoins, right? It's going to happen because Bitcoin's way too slow. They're going to start adopting Litecoin and stuff like that, just like you see here with PayPal, right? It's a get with it or get left behind situation. And then we're going to see NFTs. That's where the actual retail is going to come in because we have all these artists and popular people pushing NFTs. When they push NFTs, they're telling their audience, hey, and educating their audience, hey, look at NFTs, NFTs, NFTs. Look right here. Saturday Night Live is talking about NFTs. You guys can literally see it right there. The Weeknd is raising money over first NFT auction. This is not the first people. Logan Paul. We're talking about Gary Vee. The biggest, smartest people in the world, right, are jumping into NFTs. This is playing right in to our strategy. Now, also one thing, this basically shows on-chain activity. I want to show you this Glassnode Studio. You can see specifically right here, active addresses. Let's look back in 2017. Look, Bitcoin skyrocketing. They're lagging. Look at April. Look at April of 2017 again. We see it. Things are lining up like crazy. Look at April. And this is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So Ethereum is the green, Litecoin is the blue. They start skyrocketing. Look at this steep jump. That's where you make money, people. Now, we are kind of like in the same situation right here. Look at this gap. There's still a massive gap. And you can also see, it's interesting, we see the gap in Litecoin, but look at Ethereum's kind of following, right? So we could see this time, maybe Ethereum might pass when it comes to active addresses, Bitcoin. Let's look into it a little bit more. So as you can see here, this is new addresses. This is like not active. This is new addresses, kind of telling us the same story, except for the fact that there's not as many new addresses being created, but you could see that they're active. The people that are already on Ethereum are active. You can see that right there. The story that's essentially saying is that, hey, there's not too many new people are jumping in, but the older people that are already on Ethereum are using it more and more. What does that say? Fundamentals, the product is actually utilized. That's very important to understand, because in 2017, it was pure hype and speculation. Now we have the pure hype and speculation with NFTs, institutional investors, and actual utilization of DeFi. This is insane. I'm telling you guys, one in a lifetime opportunity. Things are going to change forever, like for real. But before we jump into the actual altcoins, which when I do the altcoins, we're going to talk about, like, for example, the safest play all the way down to the riskiest play. Now, these are going to be generally safe plays. Like, I made this video specifically for not low market cap, high risk, high reward type of vibes. This is more of like, you can put large amounts of money and rest assured that your investment's not going to zero. Strong teams, extremely strong teams. And, I have a lot of money in these protocols. Like, I sold a lot of Bitcoin for these, right? And they're going to generally outcompete Ethereum too, in most cases. So as you can see here, this is a chart that I always show my people. I want to show you guys one more time. This is the top 2,412 coins in comparison to Bitcoin. Now, historically, if you look at macros, if you look at the big picture, altcoins don't outcompete Bitcoin, right? These are by percentages, okay? So this is obviously Bitcoin's price, but this is also calculating percentages. So in most cases, even if you just put $100 into Bitcoin, you'd be better off and make more money off of Bitcoin in the super long run than Ethereum, okay? Or any altcoin, not just Ethereum. So I just want to be very clear. You have to have a strategy. If you don't have an altcoin strategy, you're kind of just guessing. I don't know what to say. I have a macro portfolio structure. We talk about it in the fundamental secrets. You can go to the link below, or you can just listen to it in this video. But basically, I have a full structured program that explains exactly how to cycle trade in and out of these altcoins to increase your Ethereum and Bitcoin position to outcompete the general market. We've been able to outcompete the general market, which I would say is Bitcoin and Ethereum, and most people can't do that. Bitcoin's up like 15x, Ethereum's up more. Like, who can outcompete that with their whole portfolio? We've been able to do that with our cycle trading strategy. But I want to just be very clear, okay? Very, 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 very clear. Do not hold the altcoins for long term. There has to be a time you're going to sell it. At the end of the bull run, you have to sell, whether it's short term. Sometimes you're going to see altcoins jump up 1,000%. Cash out, okay? Don't just hold these cryptocurrencies. I want to set you guys up for success, right? So before, I used to use just like BTC and ETH. That's all it used to be for me. Like, the vast majority of my portfolio used to be like 50%. Now I got a basket of other altcoins that make this up, including a little bit of BTC. So like, we put like altcoin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's just not ETH for me. It's like 5 altcoins and BTC that make up the vast majority. And then it's usually like about 50+%. And then the other 50% are broken up into higher risk altcoins. So I just put like risk, right? So you have to have a structure like this. If you're going all into altcoins, you're going to have a very volatile and unhappy time. People are going to, the market's going to take advantage of you for sure. You're going to be looking at your altcoin portfolio every morning before you wake up. You're going to be waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning if you don't have a structure like this. So I'll explain a little bit more and some other videos. I don't have time. We haven't even gotten to altcoins yet. So just bear with me here. We're going to jump into it. So one more thing. I want to hit it home. I'm going to hit it home. People are going to understand me after this video. I told you it's going to be an in-depth video about altcoins, okay? So this is a developer report from January to October 2020. Now, it's a little bit old, but it's important to understand because there's a couple of variables here that are extremely important when it comes to fundamental analysis. There is a flight to quality. High-quality ecosystems are growing while others are shrinking. Monthly active crypto developers have stayed flat even as new developers join through due to developer loss outside of the top 200 ecosystems by network value. Basically, what they're explaining here is that the vast majority of developers are going to quality projects. You're not always going to be able to find an altcoin on page 6 on CoinGecko with a market cap of 5 million and make money. And sometimes it's investing in the top projects that have quality that will make you more money. And some of those projects, even though they have a market cap of like $1 billion, will outcompete the ones that only have a market cap of $5 million. I want you guys to pay attention because people are lying to you in a lot of ways. There's a reason why I'm not doing some crazy, I don't buy 50 altcoins, guys. I buy the top ones, but I focus, and then every so often I'll find a low market cap and jump into it. Developer activity is particularly strong across Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some layer ones and decentralized finance. Now, this is before NFTs, but I just want to look, 300 plus new developers per month commit to Ethereum, 67% increase in monthly active developers in decentralized finance. So I'm going to be focusing on things that are attached to that. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to invest in only Ethereum. I do. I have a lot of money in Ethereum, but I also invest in things that are interoperable with Ethereum. That's a very, very big point. If the project you're picking cannot connect or get liquidity or get users from Ethereum, it's most likely going to fail. Okay, and let me explain more. Right, I told you it's going to be deep. There's something called the Matthew effect of accumulated advantage, Matthew principle, or this is old. This is like in the times of the Bible, as you can see here. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who has not, even what he has will be taken away. This is all the way back to the Bible. That's how you know it's truth, right? Scientology of science. Eminent scientists will often get more credit than an unknown researcher, even if their work is similar. Also means the credit will be usually given to researchers who are already famous. As you can see, there's even a quote: no scientific discovery is named after its original discoverer. They're kind of people that already have a lot of success. And this is the same thing with, any network effect. Anyone that has a lot of success will continue to snowball and get momentum and accumulate more success over time, right? You can see here, network effects and feedback loops. Basically talking about VHSs. Back then it was simple, a binary choice. Compatibility directed at VCR tapes. You either pick two. You pick two, right? You were picking VCRs or you're picking VHSs. But right now, you can see that the what happened part was pretty simple. When I had Witness was a platform based on network effect kicked off by small advantage. One of them had a small advantage, right? Then accentuated by a positive feedback loop. And this feedback loop was driven by consumer need and consumer interactions with various parts of what was moderately complex video entertainment market ecosystem. So essentially what's happening, and I'm going to explain this very simple, and then we'll go into it a little bit more. If you already have 5 friends with an Xbox, and this is before Xbox and PS4 can, combine, or PS5 or whatever. Now they have everyone's kind of combined and interoperable. But if 5 of your friends had an Xbox, the chances of you getting an Xbox are high, right? So if there's a network or a platform, and this can be software, it can be physical, it doesn't matter, that get more success early on, it basically snowballs. Again, it builds momentum and more people get adopted on that specific platform, right? And we can see this in history. This is literally a scientific paper talking about 2 internet service providers right here. As you can see here, it says the battle between standards, TCP/IP versus OSI, right? And basically talks about how OSI is actually superior when it comes to product, but it didn't matter because people just already adopted the other one, right? Let's just kind of read the conclusion and it'll explain what I'm saying. If we can just come up with the conclusion. As you can see right here, one may argue that before the deregulation of the telecom sector in Europe, the condition of the open market was not fulfilled. However, because the national PTT supported their own CCITT standards, this would have counteracted rather than supported TCP becoming dominant. Conclusion that prevailing products are superior because apparently the consumers have chosen this technology rather than another. In the case of technologies with network effects, however, the choice of a consumer may strongly have been influenced by the fact that other consumers are already using this technology, which may substantially increase its value to the newcomer. Therefore, it is essentially that the network effects are excluded from the definition of a technological economic superiority. Except you could read this for yourself. I'm just going to give you, again, the overall breakdown. More people adopted TCP/IP, and it wasn't because the quality of the product, it was because more people adopted it, right? And we're in the same situation for Ethereum. So again, I want to make the case, the coins that I'm picking here are going to most likely be connected to Ethereum. If they're not, they're most likely going to fail, okay? So first coin, finally, we got to the point where we talk about the first coin, Polkadot. Now, I know a lot of you, oh, this is boring, Alex, I already know this. But let me just be clear. the percentages by Polkadot are going to increase a lot. Now, why am I picking Polkadot? First, let's just look at price history really quickly. If we look at the price of Polkadot, you can see that it just recently broke out of this asymmetrical triangle. We're definitely going to see a $58 Polkadot, whether it's now or later, whatever the case is. But it broke through its all-time high. Let me just kind of bring this back over here. If we click max, it's a relatively new project. And it's interoperable with Ethereum. Remember that. So it's also connecting to other blockchain. It pretty much can connect to any blockchain. It's a really interesting product. So, you know, if we come over here, abstract present day blockchain architectures all suffer from a number of issues, not at least practical means of extensibility and scalability. We believe this stems from trying two very important parts of the consensus architecture, namely, okay, so essentially, I just want to explain it very basic. They're going to be connecting multiple blockchains through this one chain. So they'll have the ability to add parachains to its main chain, and they'll all kind of work together. So it's kind of like the CPU. Now, the reason why Polkadot is doing so well is because of the parachain auctions, at least recently. So they just went live on the testnet, the Rococo testnet, and essentially you can bid for a parachain. And what's happening is you have to put up a massive stake. So if you want to take part in basically building another app on top of Polkadot, you have to lock up, or in some cases stake your supply to show your commitment. So what's happening is that we have a lot of projects that want to get access to Polkadot because it's, you know, because it has the interoperability and the fact that it's superior due to transaction speeds and fees. So we have a whole bunch of these projects locking up massive amounts of Polkadot that will potentially happen in the future. And remember, the way that the actual auctions work are kind of interesting. I'm not going to read this because, again, this video is getting really long. But it's really interesting that the slots are basically, it's kind of like a blind auction. So you don't really know how many other people are staking. So you just have to stake as much as you possibly can. So as you can see, it's kind of like a race for the top. And there's going to be a lot of locked up supply in Polkadot. And considering, you know, this is one of the best projects in cryptocurrency, it's going to do a lot better than Ethereum, in my personal opinion. We have Gavin Wood, which is a British computer programmer, co-founder of Ethereum and creator of Polkadot. He invented Solidity and wrote the yellow paper specifying the Ethereum virtual machine. He serves as the Ethereum Foundation's first chief technology officer. This guy has a lot of credibility. Remember, he built Polkadot. So again, interoperability, okay? If we look at the actual members, there's 31,000 members. It's not bad. When it comes to Telegram, Telegram's usually the worst. If we look at the actual tweets, we have 269,000 followers. From a marketing perspective, they are definitely doing well. There's a lot of engagement on their posts. And yeah, they're just pretty legit when it comes to marketing in general. They're just dominating pretty much everything. There's a reason why it's a top 5 cryptocurrency, right? Members, they have 20K members. And again, it's just meeting the standards. If we look at the website traffic, 1.71 million people visiting their website. Polkadot is one of those coins that are going to do very well. This is the first pick of my top 5. And again, when I say do well, I say do better than Ethereum. That's usually the case. That's what I mean by do well, right? You want to make more money than Ethereum, okay? You don't want to make less, right? So yeah, like I said, Polkadot, one of those coins, going to do extremely well. I know it might sound boring to you. And it's not a, you know, market cap number 1,642 with like $50 in market cap or something like that. But remember, the goal here is to make money. The goal here is not to feel like you're making money, right? Number 2, Cardano. These are safe. I told you I was going to talk about these. These are safe coins. Now, Cardano is kind of a secondary solution to Polkadot. They have a different way of doing it. They are considering themselves the most decentralized as of the last couple of weeks. Platform in the whole entire cryptocurrency ecosystem, supposedly 100% operated by node operators or people that they are not involved with. If we look at the actual price, you can see that we're making this ascending triangle. We should definitely see the top at least, which is $1.42, and then it should break out. It looks like it is going to break out. So we'll see. Again, guys, like once it breaks out, it's the all-time high. It's like no man's land. I can't like do too much technical analysis. All I can say is that this cycle, ETH is not going to make us the most multiples. It's going to be one of these other coins for sure, right? So you need to pay attention. So yeah, ADA is just another smart contract platform, but they have the interoperability effect, right? Charles Hoskinson joined the Ethereum founding team, one of the 8 original founders with Vitalik Buterin in 2013. He left Ethereum and he created this project, right? So a lot of credibility there. They haven't been talking about it recently, but they do have cross-chain communication or interoperability. Let's just listen to the founder himself.
The way that Ethereum does multi-asset is not so good, principally because when you issue your token, you're still coupled to the native standard. And we'd like that all of the innovations that we have work with each other. So
let me slow it down.
For example, we'd like in an ideal world for Bitcoin to be able to talk to Litecoin. And we'd like in an ideal world for Litecoin to be able to talk to Bitcoin and talk to Ethereum and talk to Cardano and so forth. So we've actually been thinking about this topic since 2016, actually. 2016. And we looked at things like the color coin standard. We looked at things like what was happening on Ethereum for multi-asset NXT assets. You guys might remember that. And there was hundreds of little ideas that float around the space for a long time. And we've been thinking about cross-chain communication for a long time. And we've looked at it in things like NEPA PALs. You may have seen our proof of stake sidechains paper that we came out with. Okay. And recently we wrote a cross-chain communication SOK paper. So basically it's a roll-up of all the knowledge about cross-chain communication. We proved some interesting results with that. So we've been at this game now for well more than 4 years.
Yeah, so they're obviously interested in the same thing I'm telling you guys right now. Interoperability is definitely the next step. They have to connect to Ethereum if they want to beat it. It's the only way. And we've been seeing this with the Binance Smart Chain, other projects as well. You guys know I've been extensively talking about this for a long time. So a couple of things happening for Cardano. They are listed to Coinbase. I predicted this on one of my original Cardano price prediction videos. They're also jumping into NFTs in Cardano and a lot more news. They're also having the Alonzo hard fork, which would bring smart contracts on the testnet, which is a massive milestone. And remember, the big decentralized, killer app is DeFi, right? Decentralized finance. So they need smart contract capabilities, guys. They can definitely outcompete Ethereum if they knock this out, because they have fast transaction speeds, low transaction costs, and they're very decentralized. So if they come out with the interoperability, the smart contract platform is definitely going to be a big thing. I know it might be boring, guys. Again, I just want to be very clear. You need to pay attention because these projects will do very well in the long run. And as we get further and further, I'll get riskier and riskier. Just pay attention. The last coin will be the riskiest. Home of Cardano. They have 308 members, 8K. Wow, that's crazy. They're definitely one of the biggest projects. As you can see here, they've been out for a very long time. 304K followers. And their website visits are doubling Polkadot, which is 3.79 million in website visits. They definitely have a lot of interest. Now brings me to my next coin. We need to talk more interoperability. I told you guys this is the way to go. So Cosmos, Adam, very interesting. They have a different kind of way. They're becoming interoperable. If you look at the price of Cosmos, this is my third coin here. Same kind of story we're talking about the last two projects, except for this one's probably a little bit more risk because it has less market cap compared to the other two projects that we were talking about. So if you want to make more upside potential, Cosmos might be the play. We see an asymmetrical triangle here. We're going to break up to the upside to about $42 in my personal opinion when altcoin season, at least minimum. I'm just throwing some numbers at you guys. I could look deeper if you want. Leave a comment below on the coin you want me to dive deepest into. But as you can see here, the ecosystem requires interoperability framework. They just dropped this actually. IBC, due to its design other than Ethereum, Cosmos doesn't rely on a single root chain to facilitate data and asset transfers. Instead, it consists of various independent chains that build their base infrastructure using a modular toolkit called Cosmos SDK. The development tool comes with a series of pre-built modules, building blocks that developers can select on an as-needed basis when building a new chain. Interesting. The IBC zone allows hubs to open communication portals between one another, serving as an informational rails. The whole system resembles how ISPs deliver internet access to users. It's interesting. They're kind of doing the same thing as Polkadot, but they're doing it. They're actually implementing it. The Cosmos SDK allows developers to craft custom chains optimized for specific use cases. Ethereum applications don't have this luxury as they all function with the same parameters established by the base layer. So crazy. Flexibility has already played a pivotal role in Cosmos, DeFi ecosystem. Cosmos darlings like Terra and Thorchain leverage Cosmos SDK's modularity to design highly optimized protocols that would have been infeasible on a network like Ethereum, which we know that those two are like one of the best competing DeFi projects, right? Now, this is interesting. They have the IBC transfers, right? They're already doing interoperability, but they're about to come out with this, which is basically a hybrid AMM order book DEX designed to run on a Cosmos hub. That's insane, right? And this is it right here. It's called the liquidity module. The liquidity module of Cosmos SDK serves as the AMM style decentralized liquidity providing and coin swap functions. They're essentially making a hybrid version. So it's not completely decentralized it's not completely centralized. The Cosmos Hub AMM should have a strong philosophy of inclusiveness of its users from different blockchains because its prime utility is inter-blockchain communication. To possess such characteristics, the liquidity module should provide most convenient ways for external users to come in and use service provided by the Cosmos Hub. The liquidity module should not be, we basically, long story short, they're giving it interoperability, but liquidity is the big one because, like I just said, the network effects of Ethereum, they have all the liquidity. So eventually, the liquidity is going to exit into these, right? And give them more liquidity. And they're creating AMM or automated market makers to make this a reality. I know this is going over most people's head. Just understand that we have to connect to Ethereum and other projects to actually win. And it could be a combination of a lot of them, if that makes sense. But yeah, Cosmos is one of those big projects. We have 500,000 websites visits. Like I said, this is one of the smaller versions of layer ones that might potentially outcompete Ethereum. I really do think it's going to outcompete Ethereum. I have a lot of big bag. I sold a lot of Bitcoin for it. So yeah, one of those big plays that you need to look out for. You need to do more research. If you guys want me to make more extensive video, this video is mostly about, of course, the altcoin opportunity in general, as well as my top 5 altcoins. I could definitely do that. Now let's jump into NFT space. Now we talked about specifically 2 catalysts. It's going to be NFTs. It's going to be institutional adoption of altcoins. Now, right now, NFTs have been doing very well. One of the biggest NFTs is Engine Coin. So I have to talk about it. This is my number 4th pick. Engine Coin, or ENJ, is actually coming out with something literally like tomorrow. So we need to actually pay attention to it. I might have to buy more of this coin right after this video, but it's an ERC20 token. And essentially they're making it, next gen NFTs for everybody. Now, what they recently just did is Efinity built with Polkadot. See how it's all kind of cross-chain communications. Essentially, Efinity is making it so that we can create NFTs on Polkadot network for a very cheap and in some cases free transaction fees, right? Will enable NFTs to be utilized by the virtually any industry, unlocking potential trillions of dollars and currently illiquid and unique real world and digital assets, right? So this is Ethereum. This is what Polkadot could be in the future. They're applying to be a parachain. Ethereum coin holders and the ENJ token is going to be monetized by Efinity, right? So Efinity has its own coin, but as you can see right here, Engine Coin holders will be able to stake their ENJ into nodes and earn passive income in the form of Efinity's native currency. So people are going to lock up more ENJ to get EFI. So this kind of directly incentivizes the ERC20 version of Engine Coin and will probably help increase the value. Now, another thing that's happening in the future, that's actually going to happen very, very soon, is JumpNet, launching April 6th. Today's April 5th. It's a high-speed bridge network that will allow fees instant on-chain transaction of Engine Coin. Interesting, right? And it says free instant on-chain transactions of Engine Coin, ERC 1155. Launching in 2021 is crazy. I don't know how they're getting this stuff done, but as you can see here, they're making free transaction fees. That's insane. These are very big catalysts for this platform to do extremely well. I think it's one of the top NFT plays that everybody needs to pay attention to. So if NFTs do become a catalyst, remember the whole market of NFTs is undervalued. Look at the NFT market cap. It's only 27 billion. If we look at the DeFi market cap, you can see that it's $108 billion. So we could definitely see a 5 to 7x easily with Engine Coin. And that's not in considering, the broader cycle. The big cycle could be a lot bigger than that, right? So if we look at some of the actual games that are adopting Engine Coin, we definitely see some big time. Age of Rust is huge. It's one of the biggest games in Steam. Big time people. Microsoft, a whole bunch of different games that are adopting NFTs and becoming a part of the ecosystem. And like we just said, a big breakout awaits. Engine Coin is scaling, its upgrade this weekend. They're coming up with the layer 2 free transaction fees and free NFT creation. It's kind of crazy, actually. We look at the website traffic is 318,000, which is kind of like on par with Cosmos, which is insane because it has far less market cap. So this is a higher risk, more reward play. if you're trying to make money. We can see the followers, 135 K. Their marketing is outstanding. When it comes to Twitter, 31,000 members, and Telegram, again, marketing outstanding. And yeah, just pay attention because they're coming out with Efinity as well as the layer 2 scaling solution, which brings me to my last coin. My last coin is 0x or ZRX. I've talked about this before. It's only 1.3 billion market cap. It could definitely grow more, a lot more. This is a cross-chain liquidity platform. If we look at the price, it's close to its all-time high, I believe, but I think it can really break out. As you can see right here, we are at, it was like at $2.50. We're only at right now $1.82. So we could easily get to a $2.50 in the future. We're making this rising triangle, could break out to the top side. We have an endpoint for DeFi, the liquidity endpoint. Essentially, they can get liquidity from pretty much any blockchain, which is really interesting, right? As you can see here, 0x protocol version 4 is now live on Binance Smart Chain. They can literally get liquidity from any of these, Polkadot, Near, anything, which allows for them to create basically a system for other people to create decentralized applications or decentralized exchanges. They essentially want to have the highest liquidity for decentralized exchanges so that you can get the best price. If you're developing one, you can get the best price from Uniswap, Curve, 0x, Balancer, does not matter. So it's very interesting that they're doing that because one of the biggest problems in cryptocurrency, as you can see here, bridge volume. They're getting volume and liquidity in like it's bridging it from other places like Uniswap, SushiSwap, Balancer. Again, like I said, they're accessing liquidity on multiple blockchains, what makes it a lot better to select price, right? This is their actual ecosystem. You can see they have exchanges. You can see they're connecting to pretty much everything. It's crazy what they've been able to pull off. And they just recently connected to Binance Smart Chain. We've been talking about this for a very long time. So I know a lot of my followers are probably already up to date on this. But yeah, just pay attention, guys. Look, automated market makers, they're taking from every single one of these. They're creating exchanges and they claim to have the best price and slippage. The co-founder has some credibility. I'm not going to go too much in that, but he was a technical advisor for Basic Attention Token for sure. Their marketing is not that good, but obviously their Twitter's pretty good. So they have 201,000 followers. Their Reddit, 18.7K. They should have more. And only 1,246. So marketing's pretty low. This is lower on CoinMarketCap. As you can see, you're ranked 78. So it has more upside potential. I definitely see this being maybe a top 20 protocol if they keep with the liquidity. If some other decentralized, basically they give a toolkit for people to make decentralized exchanges and they have the highest or the best liquidity because they can bridge across multiple blockchains. I think it's really interesting. I think it's interesting what they have to offer. I've been in them for a long time. I've watched the team grow. And I think they're going to continue to grow. But yeah, there you go. There's my top 5, kind of safer altcoins. I explained to you the whole entire market cycle. I explained to you the macroeconomics all the way down to individual products. This video is relatively long. If you stuck around this long and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do us both a favor. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Alex here. Quick update, quick announcement, guys. I have a new community number. So I got a second phone. You could directly text me. I'm answering all questions. My new phone number is 954-758-5473. Again, that's 954-758-5473. I'm answering all comments. Go ahead and text me now. Let's have a conversation.